Hey friends, welcome to this yin yoga class for the 2-week wait. Yin yoga is perfect for when you're trying to conceive because it is super nurturing to the body. It's safe if you happen to be early days pregnant, which I know a lot of women worry about when they're trying to conceive. And also it helps to counteract that anxiety that we often feel when we're trying to conceive. Maybe it's been a long time, maybe we've experienced losses, or maybe we're going through some sort of fertility treatment. So in today's class, I recommend using as many props as you want. So I'll be using a bolster, but if you have blankets or cushions or pillows or anything that you can use to support your body to feel really comfortable, then I want you to do that today. And just quickly before we get into this class, I want to recognize the fact that sometimes that anxiety that the 2-week wait can create needs to be moved out of the body first before we shift into what will be quite a still and quiet practice. So if you are feeling really worked up, really kind of on edge, today's practice might actually be very challenging for you. You might be better off going for a walk or doing one of my more intense yoga practices to kind of shift that anxiety first before you settle into this really restorative practice. I'm not sure if you can hear, but it has just started to rain here, which is a beautiful symbol of fertility and freshness and new beginnings. And let's bring that intention into today's class. Let's start our practice today in a seated meditation. So feel free to sit in any way that is comfortable for you. For me, it's up on a bolster with my legs crossed, but you can sit in a chair if you prefer. Just make yourself as comfortable as possible. To start with, I just want you to settle into your body. So just feel grounded in your seat. See if you can find a little length through the spine. So shine a little more through the chest. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe bring a softness to your face. Take a few deep breaths just in and out the nose. If you feel you need to, you could sigh out through the mouth on the out breath. Just to really allow yourself to arrive here in your body and in your practice. I'm going to practice some alternate nostril breathing today. So the second and third finger will bring to the forehead, the thumb will come to the right nostril, the fourth finger will come to the left nostril. So we're going to use the fourth finger to close the left nostril as you inhale through the right. And then block the right side as you breathe out through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. And then we reverse. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. And release the hand. Take 3 full deep breaths in and out through both nostrils. So that's a really nice practice that you can come back to whenever you're feeling anxious over the next 2 weeks. I always find when I'm feeling like a little bit all over the place, that really focused breathing just helps to bring me back into my body. Might feel a little bit strange at first, but it really helps. We're going to come on down now onto our mat. Come into our supported child's pose using the bolster or whatever you're using to support yourself today. So I like to take my knees wide because that's most comfortable for my hips, but you're welcome to bring them together if that feels good. And then just allow the body to rest over the bolster and let everything sink into the mat. So I want you to consciously relax from the crown of the head, down the neck, and down the arms, and down the spine, to the low back, and the legs, the ankles, the feet and the toes. Everything soft and relaxed. You might like to use a mantra here as we settle into this position. So you could use something like, I am healthy and happy and ready to conceive my baby. You could use something as simple as, I am fertile. Or maybe perhaps something a little more open-ended, just, I am ready. Choose words that resonate with you, that make you feel good and hopeful. And let yourself sink and settle here. On your next breath, slowly bring yourself up. Roll your bolster out the way because you won't need it for the next pose. We're going to come down onto our backs. So I'd like to ask you to use your arms just to support you to come down on the side and then roll over onto the back, just so that we're not asking the belly to do anything at this point. I just want you to draw the left leg in towards you, and we're going to take the right leg out long. So if this is too much opening for your hips, you might like to bring that bolster underneath the outstretched leg. So just allows that back to press into the floor a little bit more and means that you're not doing quite so much stretching. Remember, in yin yoga, we're staying here for quite a while, so you want to make yourself nice and comfortable. You could even put some cushions under this arm and leg here so that they're really supported. And let yourself sink in, perhaps returning to that affirmation. Perhaps just returning to the breath, being present in your body. You could even set your affirmation or mantra to what you want to let go of. So perhaps you focus on, I let go of stress, or I am calm, or I am content. Really focusing on what you want to bring into your life and what you need to let go of in order for that to happen. When you're ready to, you need to take that left leg long. So we're going to stay here for the next minute, just allowing our body to resettle, recenter. Letting our hips to come back into alignment after that opening through the left side of the body. And before we move on to the right. So Whenever you feel you need during this practice, if you feel like you need to sigh it out, something needs to be let go of in the body, maybe there's tears, any sort of emotional release, I want to encourage you to let that energy go. And then it's time for the right side body. So draw that right leg in, just as we did before, hugging that knee in towards the armpit. Gently release that right side. I want you to draw the bolster in towards the buttocks so that as you press into your feet and lift the hips up, we can roll that bolster underneath the hips as we come into our supported bridge. So you want your tailbone and your low back to be nicely supported by the bolster. So you've got some options for your legs. You can either leave them nice and straight like mine are. You could take the feet out a little wider and let the knees knock in if that feels nice and comfortable for you. You could take the soles of the feet together and come into a Baddha Konasana variation, a butterfly variation with the knees out to the side. Or you could take the legs long, so you're getting a little bit more opening through the psoas here in the front of the hips. So find a position that works for you. Remember, you want to be able to be fairly comfortable so that as your body settles into this position over the next few minutes and starts to open, you're not opening your body too much and causing any sort of pain or injury or anything like that. Discomfort is okay, or maybe just some unusual sensations in the body are okay. That does tend to happen when we hold these poses for a little bit longer. So when you're comfortable and ready, close down the eyes, settle back into that internal watch of the body, being present and aware of any sensations, being present and aware of the breath, moving in and out through the nose. I want you to be conscious of the breath, sending it deep down into the low belly, noticing as the belly expands on the inhale and softens on the exhale. All right, and then when you're ready, gently press into the feet as you roll that bolster out from underneath your body. And just let your body come back down, maybe resting the feet on the bolster, bringing the hands to the low belly and just taking a few deep breaths here. It can be nice in between yin poses just to take that moment to resettle, recenter before you move on to the next pose. So we're going to roll the bolster all the way out the way now because we don't need it for this next one. We want to be able to stretch out nice and long. So I want you to be able to stretch the arms above the head and press the feet away. Taking a nice deep breath in, and we're going to make a banana shape with our body. So that means we're going to take the arms in one direction. So you might even hold onto the wrist and gently draw it over, creating a stretch down that side body, and then take the legs in the same direction. So that whole left side of the body is getting a beautiful stretch. And then when you're ready, once more settling into this position,
Continuing to breathe deeply and fully. Notice where your body might ask for energy to be released through breath, through tears, through perhaps asking you to shift slightly, and feel free to honor your body in that way if you need to take a little moment to readjust. And when you're ready, gently release back to center. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor, let the knees fall in. Press that low back into the mat. And once more, just take a moment here to recenter. And then when you're ready to hold on to the opposite wrist, and we move in the opposite direction. So stretch the arms out to the opposite side. Take the legs in the same direction, making that banana shape with your body.
Gently release the arms. Coming back into center once more for our reset. Soles of the feet to the floor. Press that low back down. Deep breaths into the low belly. Ready to. We're coming into our supine twist. So you may want to bring that bolster in so that you have a support for the legs and they don't have to come into the full twist. So draw the knees into the chest and then gently move them down to the side. And then the upper body, you're opening to the opposite directions, opening to the left side if your legs are out to the right. And just having this prop here allows you to use the support to really relax in this position. Because after a few minutes, it can become quite intense if you're at 100%. So we want to be about 50 or 60% of where we're normally at in this pose. See if you can imagine the breath moving from the low belly or from the womb space all the way up the spine to the heart, to the base of the skull, and then all the way back down the spine, back to the low belly or womb. Keep a visualization of this breath moving up and down the spine as you let yourself sink and settle here.
gently draw the knees back into center. Bring the hands onto the low belly. Take a moment to reset. And then bring this bolster all the way to the opposite side. Draw those knees into the chest and then just gently rest them down to that left side, adjusting in any way that you need so that you can feel the stretch to about 60%. Take the arms in the opposite direction, look away from the legs if that feels good. And then we settle back into this position. That focused breath from the base of the belly to the base of the skull. Long, deep breaths, moving and shifting energy up and down our torso. Ready, release the legs back into center. To reset this time, we're going to come actually into our happy baby pose, so reaching towards the feet, or if you can't quite make it there, you can hold on to the thighs or the shins. I'm just going to take a little rock from side to side, so not really a yin pose. We're not holding it for too long. I just want to open up through those hips a little bit, create a little bit of circulation in this space. And then gently draw the knees together, hug the knees into the chest, and then release the feet back down. We're coming into our final pose here of today's class, our corpse pose. I really like to practice this pose with the bolster underneath the knees. Helps to support my low back, Feel free to use as many props as you need here. We rest the palms up in a receptive position, a symbol to ourselves to be open to everything that life holds. And then when you're ready to close down those eyes, allow yourself to take full deep breaths. As we start to scan through the whole body, starting from the crown of the head, and letting a sensation of calm and softness spread from the crown, down the forehead and temple, down the cheeks and jawline, down the neck and shoulders, the upper arms, the lower arms and the hands, the chest and the shoulder blades, the belly and the low back, the hips and thighs, the knees and calves, the ankles and the feet. Notice the whole body feels soft, relaxed. And as you rest here in this space, I'd like for you to notice what the mind does. Typically, this stage of the cycle can be a time of criticism. That inner critic might come out, start to doubt and question, start to pick at your relationship or your job or your friends or yourself. I just want you to rest in this space and see if you can witness that inner critic. Witness her as someone separate to you, someone you don't have to believe, someone to whom you can say, thank you for your input, but that's not what I choose to believe today. Keep breathing fully and deeply, being a witness to those inner thoughts and feelings. Being kind and compassionate to yourself. you're ready to come back, start to gently wriggle fingers and toes. Maybe stretch long if that feels good. And coming to one side, just rolling over slowly. Taking a moment to wake up, there's no hurry. And then slowly, when you're ready to, coming all the way back up to have a seat. I'd like for us to finish our practice with the hands at the heart, bowing our head. Give yourself a moment to honor yourself for showing up for this practice, for giving yourself this kindness and compassion, this space in your busy life. The light in me honors the light in you. As always, it is such an honor to share this practice and this space with you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. If you would like to join in other classes for the different stages of the cycle, I'll leave the link below for my online yoga circle where you can access all of my premium classes in one place. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you soon. Namaste.